I could end this debate with one word, but I'm not going to, because that would be mean and un-Christian. Okay. Madam Speaker, Honourable Chair, ladies and gentlemen, big guy in the sky. The motion before us tonight that suggests that, like some rocky one-night stand or decision to go to UCD, we should regret religion. Like, the proposition believes that it is inherently harmful and of so little benefit that we should wish that it had never happened, and we wish that its existence just ceases. Tonight I'm going to show you that the prop are the 5 Grinches stealing Christmas. I'm not actually going to talk about Christmas at all, I swear. It's just, I think that the benefits of religion by far outweigh the harms, and I'm going to show this with a few points. I'm going to talk about the benefits of community. I'm going to talk about the importance of hope, the strength of religious morality, and finally how religion is fundamental to humanity. And before I do, I will also be artfully weaving my rebuttal into my speech. There's one point I'd like to point out. I think that religion is as potent as you make it. I think, personally, I worship, say, Beyonce. And my chances of meeting Beyonce are about as slim as my chances of meeting God. And I think that, there are many things that encourage fanaticism. And we think the pursuit of wealth, the pursuit of power are just as potent, if not more potent in today's world. So we don't think that stands. And we think that a convincing speaker, say like Martin Luther King, can persuade as many people as any priest can. So we don't think that any of those points about potency stand. But first I'd like to talk about community, okay? Because we think that the proposition are confused. Because unlike alternative music, religion wasn't created for the purposes of superiority and war and division. We think that religion was actually created initially to unite people. And religion is meant to unite people before it divides people. And yes, there are sometimes unfortunate side effects, but as we've already explained, wars happen for many reasons. What religion is, it allows for it, is a group of people with similar beliefs and ideas and worldviews to gather together and share those views. And we think that's a good thing, particularly in a world like today, where it's really hard to find a majority of people who agree on one thing. Maybe apart from the Beatles, it's hard to get one thing that everyone's yeah, that's really good, I like that. We think that when the majority of people can share a view that is inherently good, and I'll explain why it's inherently good, we think that can only have benefits, because we think that when you're more integrated in your community, you're a happier person, you feel more secure, you feel that there are people who share your beliefs, and you feel less alone in this big bad world. And people do get together at a church or mosque to bond over beliefs, but only a few get together to plot over major wars in the Holy Land, or their plan to get that poor Mary off Parents Association. Okay, so as for hope and faith, I actually don't think anyone in this debate is in a position to discuss religion, to be honest, because I think that it may not give you personal benefit yet, but I don't think anyone in this room who's debating tonight has actually experienced enough of life to actually need religion. Because I think that many of us here, we've just had religion handed us on a plate on a child. The biggest harm we may have experienced from religion is that we were dragged to mass a few times, and we haven't actually made I genuinely don't think anyone in this room has experienced maybe enough hardship to feel that they need hope and faith in something abstract. So I want to talk about why that's important and pretend that I'm 50 years old and cynical and stuff. Okay, we think that anything that gives people hope is a good thing. Because, life isn't a big Oscar-winning movie sometimes. You're not always going to win that boxing title, in spite of all the odds. We think that hope and optimism are fundamental to the survival and functioning of humanity. And, it doesn't matter how absurd and unusual that source of hope may be to an objective person, because hope is an inherently personal thing. For some people, what gives them hope may be the hope, Ireland will win the World Cup, or they'll get that promotion at work. For me, it's the hope that I'll emigrate one day. For others, it's the hope, for a lot of people, what gives them hope is that there's some abstract, intangible thing, some benevolent force in the world to counteract all the evil. And let's face it, there's a whole lot of evil happening in the world right now. And there's a lot of times in life when it's really, really hard to think that you're going to get out of the mess that you're in. Because I really don't think that many people in this debate understand. There are times in your life where everything is falling to pieces. And that's why fantasy and something that isn't quite reality and something that can't be disproved is so important, that is so valuable, to have faith in something that everything else is going absolutely terribly, and you're well, there's that one thing that scientists are still failing to disprove. And so we think that is invaluable. Yes, please.
if something is your only source of hope, are you not really vulnerable to be exploited by it?
No, because as I said, it can't be disproved. Like, it's such an intangible thing that religion and religious beliefs, they transcend all things. And that's why we think it's so powerful. Like, scientists have been trying for years and they still can't disprove religious beliefs. Like, as for religion being a backbone to morality, like, I never for a second suggest that atheists are, like, immoral or anything. But, like, let's be honest, religion just makes it easier. Like, you know, rather than, you know, picking up morals randomly through life, religion gives them to you in a nice shiny package with, you know, the promise of a communion dress and bouncy castles if you're good. Like, seriously, parables are fun. Like, as are Bible stories. Like, they illustrate in a clear way for the kids what it is to be a decent human being. And I don't see how that's a bad thing. Like, you know, we have this idea of proposition that, like, that's a terrible crutch to have, something guiding you. Oh no, when you're so vulnerable. No, I think that's a good thing. Like, I think it's something, it's a really nice thing to have something to depend on and something to teach you about things. Like, because you can reject religion later in life. Like, and like, let's look at the golden rule, which is essentially what is preached in most religions, right? Like, you know, treat others as you yourself would like to be treated. We think that's a sound and fair rule upon what you can base society. And like, I'd really like to address the issue of faults within religious teachings, right? Because like, we think that, yeah, there are some teachings that are extremely flawed. Like, personally, I find it abhorrent, you know, like discrimination against women and discrimination against homosexual people. I personally find those views abhorrent. But I think it is, after all, society who dictates religion. Like, most religions were formed thousands of years ago, in, you know, a time when, you know, society was much more patriarchal, and, you know, men were calling the shots. You know, like, my favourite, like, Bible quote personally is, "A silent wife is a gift from God." Like, and like, I think as the years have passed, people still look to the text, but it's up to the religious leaders to interpret them. But like, why aren't we interpreting them differently? Like, the harsh truth, ladies and gentlemen, is because we don't want to. Sure, it's the word of God, but we have that in the golden rule. We all know that everything else was just, you know, Mark, Matthew, Luke, or John going on an egotistical rant. We want to believe it's the word of God because, like, let's be honest, some people in society don't like women. Some people don't like homosexuals, and we think that religion is like just allowing them to justify it. But it's not religion's fault. It's society's fault that women are still treated in this way. It's not religion's fault. It's society's fault that gay people can't marry. And we think that the proposition today, I think they're using the wrong word. I think, personally, they don't find a benefit in religion. I think they should be using the word reject, because I think that's perfectly valid. If religion isn't your thing, you can reject it. But I think to regret it is to be extremely insulting to everyone else. And we think the benefits by far outweigh the harms. We beg you to oppose. Thank you.